right? So all of them are connected essentially, right? What up, Sauce Gang, and welcome back to the channel. Hot Sauce Beats here with another dope reaction for you. Well, I am not dead. I am alive and I am feeling better. 24 hours later has helped me out a lot. As you can probably tell, the pep in my step is back, baby. So we are gonna be jumping back into MatPat's FNAF theories, and today we are gonna be checking out FNAF Mystery Solved Part 2, the first half. But before we jump into this reaction, make sure you show MatPat at Game Theory some love by subscribing to his channel. And if you enjoy my reaction, please help support the channel by smashing that subscribe and like button. It's absolutely free and it greatly helps out the channel. But enough talking, let's get to reacting and roll that bomb ass intro.
Hot Sauce Beats is finally here. Hot Sauce Beats is finally here. Eat, sleep, make beats. Eat, sleep, make beats.
Hot Sauce Beats! Woo-hoo! I still feel like shit, but I'm doing a reaction. Let's go. Come on, MatPat. Rewind. What? Dude,
Hello,
that legitimately might be my favorite intro he's ever done. That was insane, bro.
Internet. Welcome to Game Theory.
Game
we may not have
Theory.
made FNAF, but I like to think we've at least made it a bit more interesting. So in part 1 of this long-awaited, all questions answered FNAF theory, we covered everything from the origins of the shadow animatronics to the reason for Golden Freddy's ghostly behavior to proof of what's.
And like I said, I know a lot of you are unhappy that I'm also doing new reactions as I'm doing old ones, but I'm enjoying getting the perspective of new and old at the same time, because as you guys know, a lot of his old theories are way off because we don't really know a lot about FNAF until I think it's 4. I think 4, right, is when we learn about the Aftons. So I love you guys. Come on, chat. I love you.
Suit the killer uses. We clarified the timeline and even went so far as to dispel the myth that the killer is the one shoving the bodies into the suits. Click here if you missed it to get caught up. Don't worry, I'll wait. This is a pausable video after all. But today we're covering the major questions from the franchise, the final bits of the timeline, the ending of the game, and most importantly of all, the identity of the purple guy.
So when this came out, though, only the first 3 had come out. So he's talking about what, the ending of 3, how 3 ended?
So enough intro, let's cut to the chase. When we left things off, there had been another round of murder done in Fazbear Pizza. Purple Guy had once again used a golden Bonnie suit to lure in another set of 5 kids.
So evil, Purple Guy.
As depicted in the Save Them minigame from FNAF 2. The place gets closed for investigation a few days later, but the one thing that practically everyone overlooks in this location is that it gets reopened. In FNAF 2, the Night 1 phone call welcomes you to your new summer job at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
God, and see, I haven't seen any of FNAF 2 yet. I mean, we've seen from MatPat's theories, but in regards to gameplay, next week is when we're starting Markiplier's FNAF 2, and I'm excited.
Hello and welcome to your new summer job at the new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Summer
New and
job.
improved, huh?
And yet, the paycheck at the end of the week reads November. There is not a single place in the world where November is a summer month. Not one. Meaning that these tapes, all these tapes, are pre-recorded. And honestly, that shouldn't be a surprise. Phone Guy's calls are recordings in every game. In FNAF 1, before Phone Guy dies, he says he's glad he recorded these messages when he did.
That's true.
I'm kind of glad that I recorded my message.
And then in
My cough's
FNAF
gotten
3,
worse.
they
I feel
find
better,
little
but my
training
cough's
tapes
worse.
The Phone Guy made.
First of all, we found some vintage audio training cassettes. Dude, these are like prehistoric. I think they were like training tapes.
In short, all
Oh, are those the VHS tapes, chat? Is that what they're talking about there?
of Phone Guy's messages
no, the VHS tapes are
unstuck
fan-made,
in
right?
time, not recorded anytime near your tenure as security guard. That includes the ones in FNAF 2 talking about children going missing. The pizzeria isn't being shut down for an investigation of some missing children the week you happen to be working there. You're listening to old tapes meant for the night security guard from months ago. Need more
Months,
proof?
maybe
Night
even
6's
years.
call references a birthday party happening as the last last event before the building closes. But what decorations do we see put up throughout the building for the entirety of the week you're working there? Happy birthday banners. Confusing? You betcha. Game-changing? Absolutely. This means that both Jeremy and Fritz, the characters you play as throughout FNAF 2, aren't the killer purple guy at all. They were both working in November.
So back when this was coming out like this and, you know, FNAF 1, 2, and 3, did a lot of people think that we were the killer? Because that's what he just made it sound like right there, that people were suspicious that we were the killer.
After the yellow suit
Had a brain fart.
investigation and the killer getting charged. Which brings us to the other key point in the timeline, the bite of 87. Ever since we heard about this mysterious frontal lobe nibble on that first
allows us
fateful
to
night at Freddy's,
pinpoint
we
a
wanted to
time.
know more about this bizarre attack, the one that ends up resulting in animatronics no longer being allowed to walk around during the day. But now, 3 games in, we do know more. We know it took
More you
place in the
know.
location of FNAF 2 based on the 1987 date on Jeremy's paycheck. And furthermore, the newspaper clipping that ends FNAF 2 gives us a clue that it's the bite which closes this version of the restaurant, not some serial killing. Quote, after being open a few short weeks, the restaurant is closing its doors, the article says, with the new animatronics being scrapped for possible malfunction. That's
Dang,
game designer
malfunction.
Scott Cawthon telling us that one of the new toy animatronics bit someone during the day. Why else would the new
Good little
robots
clue.
be scrapped while the old ones get
It's a minor setback. I know someone died and got bit, but it was a minor setback. We'll be back. This time kids may not die. Come give us your money. Yeah, great pitch. Good luck with that.
kept for possible reorganization? Well, outside of an obvious need to retcon why these new robots didn't appear in Five Nights 1. It's because the company considered them safer, relatively speaking. So, then who's the biter? Well, it's none other than the pile of scraps and parts, Mangle. The most obvious clue is the animatronics' unhinged
Foxy?
jaw. The frontal lobe is the biggest part of the human brain, and the size and shape of the other toy robots' mouths just wouldn't be able to handle the size of the human head, especially when you compare it to the Mangle's narrow snout
Dang
and
you,
wide
Foxy.
open mouth. There's also Mangle's sharper teeth and potential angle of attack. As shown by its jump scare, Mangle goes for the top of the head. And who got bit?
Oh, hold on. You saying it's Mango? Is that not Foxy? Am I being stupid? Oh, that's not Foxy. My bad. Chat, please. The comment section's gonna blow up. Yo, that's not Foxy. I know. I corrected myself 15 seconds after I said it.
Mangle's sharper teeth and potential angle of attack. As
So
shown
who's
by
that,
its jump
Mango?
scare, Mangle goes for the top of the
Mangle.
head. And who got bit? Well, there isn't enough evidence to say definitively, but your most likely candidate would be fan favorite Jeremy Fitzgerald. Jeremy passes the test, and on his paycheck at the end of the week, he's welcomed into the family, presumably getting moved to day shift. Fritz gets hired to replace him on day 7, but then promptly gets fired for tampering with the animatronics. That means he's not likely the one to get bit, and instead the person who follows him on day shift is, leaving Jeremy as the most likely frontal lobeless candidate.
So, oh, that is right. The bite of 83 was a kid and 87 was an employee. There for a second. See, chat, look how quick I'm correcting myself. There for a second, I thought both were kids, but no. 83 was a kid. Dead. 87 employee, not dead.
But regardless of whether it's Jeremy or some other customer we've never met, someone gets bit, the restaurant closes for good, and as the newspaper clippings show, the old animatronics go into storage awaiting a smaller
Girl, you
location
gone.
with a lower budget. Fast forward to the 90s and FNAF 1. We know it's the 90s based on the hourly rate of the paycheck received by Mike Schmidt, security guard extraordinaire from the first game, something we
Extraordinaire.
proved in our first Five Nights video. And now we can breathe a sigh of relief, because this was the beautiful time long ago, last August, when the games weren't so complicated, when the biggest mysteries
goes
were a
2,
game
1, 3.
crashing gold bear and the words "it's me." No death minigames, no puppets, no need to shoehorn in extra overcomplicated storylines. That all would come later when the first game became a smash hit and got itself some sequels. And boy,
Yeah,
did
baby.
those sequels make things complicated, as both featured 8-bit minigames
I love that he just said, oh boy, don't the sequels make it complicated? Just wait till 4 comes out, baby, and you learn about the Aftons. Oh, Matt Pat, you in for a treat. I mean, we're going back in time and watching this, knowing you've already seen it, but you haven't when you made this video. What happens when you're late to the party and you react to videos?
revealing more details about this location from the original game. First things first, we know that the purple guy kills 5 children here. We see it in the Foxy Go 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 minigame from Fnaf 2. Foxy runs past the grinning purple guy to see 5 dead bodies. Sorry, no fireworks this time, Foxy. And how do we know it's the Fnaf 1 location? Well, it's the only time the game when Foxy's stage, Pirate Cove, is located to the west of a dining area. See how he performs for the children by running to the right? That matches the map layout of the Fnaf 1 pizzeria. We also know from the Fnaf 3 minigames that this is where the purple guy dies inside a golden Springlock Bonnie suit in a safe room near the back. One built so that it would never show up on camera, conveniently explaining why it never appeared in the first game. But hold on, weren't those safe rooms sealed up a long time ago? I mean, we touched on this last episode, but the old recordings of Phone Guy we listened to throughout Fnaf 3 say that these rooms are being closed off, discontinued, and will never be mentioned again.
Never!
Why would a location 20 years later possess a safe room unless it was the same building as the first Freddy Fazbear's Pizza location? That's why it's in such disrepair when we see it in the Fnaf 3 minigames, boarded up with rats on the floor. It's been closed down for years.
So is he saying then that essentially that's the old Freddy Fazbear's Entertainment, right? Isn't that what the first one was called? And then they built onto it but shut that off. And then in the new one, which obviously we don't know anything about yet, but got built on top of it, right? So they're all of them are connected essentially, right?
Which also means the dead kids from the Foxy Go 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 minigame aren't another set of new victims, because seriously, at this point, the killer would have made his way through like a short bus full of pizza-hungry children. No, those kids are the first 5 dead kids, the ones who would eventually possess Old Bonnie, Chica, Freddy, Foxy, and Golden Freddy. I mean, look, if the animatronics were possessed at this point, don't you think Foxy would be attacking Purple Guy rather than just running past him to perform for some dead kids? This also explains the random cutscene from Fnaf 2 where the puppet's looking into Freddy's eyes. You can tell by the tables in the background and the design of both Bonnie and Chica that this is the Fnaf 1 location with the old animatronics on stage. But it's not a flash forward to the game's next location, but rather a flash back to the moment the puppet brought these characters, these children, to life. Okay, but that's just tying together some loose ends in the story. We're interested in how this whole thing ends, and those Fnaf 3 minigames give us the conclusion we're looking for. These flashback minigames show Purple Guy dismantling the animatronics from the security of the safe room one by one. But in doing so, he's unwittingly releasing the spirits of his former victims. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, Golden Freddy. When their powers combine, they are able to scare Purple
Planet! Oh wow, that's a weird angle. Look at my fist. Fucking weird.
Guy into the Golden Bonnie Springlock suit, which fails, crushes him pretty much to the point of death, though notice we never actually see him die, and the spirits fade away. Golden Bonnie, with Purple Guy inside, now known as Springtrap, rots away in the safe room for years until he's finally uncovered by the founders of Fazbear's Fright from the 3rd game. With the discovery of Springtrap, this haunted house attraction, inspired by the years of mystery and murder of the pizzeria chain, finally has their first real animatronic, who then haunts the player for 5 nights and a nightmare night until the place burns down due to faulty wiring. The end. Take a bow. It's finally over. Well, kinda. We're still left with one final, seemingly impossible question to answer.
Monster?
Who is the Purple Guy? After spending, I kid you not, full days plotting out all the details of this game franchise on whiteboards, talking it over with anyone who would stand to listen to me ramble on and on about fictional haunted robots, and just looking at it from every possible angle, all logic points to it being...
Till next week, chat. But dude, copyright strike currently on the channel. Oh, wow. Copyright strikes suck, bro. Cause it's a game theory. Chat. Woo, I'm excited. Yes, so the next game theory video is Mystery Solved Part 3, the second half. Or no, Part 2, the second half. However it's worded. But you get what I'm saying. So we're about to learn who he thinks it is. Like I've been saying, I'm super stoked to find out who he thinks it is because we don't know about the Aftons yet. So I'm curious who he thinks it is. Maybe the janitor, a mad janitor or something. But yeah, it's crazy how actually on MatPat is with these theories without so much of the actual concrete lore that we find out about. I mean, which, goodness, what? Over half of it comes from 4 and later. I'm actually super impressed with MatPat on these. I mean, again, this is what the dude does for a living. Gets it right sometimes. And, you know, I do want to put this out here. I think us as viewers, we forget a lot of times that these are what they are, which is a theory. It kind of amazes me at how angry people get at MatPat on some of his theories. Like, at the end of the day, what this is, it's entertainment. You either like it or you don't. And if you do like it, just go with it. I mean, clearly this has been an 8-year-long developing journey. Sometimes he's right, sometimes he's wrong, and you either like the content or you don't. And I applaud MatPat. Yeah, putting your own opinions and theories out there ain't ever easy. I mean, I do it and I get shit on all the time. So I can't even imagine, yeah, especially 2 theories ago, resetting it. People lost their minds. We're crazy. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So we're coming back, baby. I'm feeling good. But I hope you enjoyed this. And if you did, please help support the channel by smashing that subscribe and like button. It's absolutely free and it greatly helps out the channel. Enjoy the rest of your night. And remember, it's eat, sleep, and make beats. And as usual, be kind to one another. And that's all I got. Boom, I'm out. Got nothing but love for the sauce gang. Hot sauce boots. Woo, woo.